Schönen guten Tag, liebe bettervest Crowd. Mein Name ist Thomas Westerling und ich bin Geschäftsführer von ARED Germany und Green-Tech Capital. Green-Tech Capital ist als Investor bereits mehr als 2 Jahre an ARED Ruanda beteiligt. Wir haben das Unternehmen dabei unterstützt, die Technologie und das Geschäftsmodell weiterzuentwickeln, sodass wir heute eine innovative digitale Technologie haben, mit der wir Tausenden und in der Zukunft sogar Millionen von Menschen helfen können, sich mit der digitalen Welt zu vernetzen. Wir haben ARED Germany gegründet, um eine Crowdfinanzierung für ARED Ruanda möglich zu machen. ARED steht für African Renewable Energy Distributor. ARED Ruanda existiert seit 2013 und hat in den letzten Jahren eine Idee weiterentwickelt, die ursprünglich nur dafür gedacht war, Mobiltelefone wieder aufzuladen. Aus dieser Idee ist nun der erste digitale One-Stop-Shop entstanden, in dem buchstäblich alle Arten von digitalen Transaktionen abgewickelt werden können. Und zusätzlich ist es quasi das erste Street-Wi-Fi in Afrika, das heißt Internet für jedermann, egal in welcher Bevölkerungsschicht. Namhafte Firmen wie Microsoft oder Siemens sind bereits Unterstützer und Partner von ARED und die letzte Entwicklungsstufe des Kiosks wurde vom Bundesumweltministerium mitfinanziert und von der Deutschen Entwicklungsbank ausgeführt. Henry, der Gründer und CEO von ARED Ruanda, wird im Folgenden genaueres zu dem Produkt, der Technologie und dem Projekt sagen.
Hi, my name is Henry Nyakarundi from ARED, and today I want to introduce you to our smart solar kiosk, which is basically a hardware and software component put into one. First, I do want to say that our hardware was developed by our partner TechSolute from Germany, and our software has been developed for 2 different companies, one from India and one from Kenya. So let me walk you through what our solar kiosk is capable of. One of the problems we're trying to solve is the distribution network in low-income people, in rural areas, semi-urban area, but also in refugee camps. There's a huge problem in distribution of services and connectivity in those areas. The challenge now is, how can we improve that? How can we improve that distribution channel? And that's where the biggest opportunity we found. So let me walk you through the solar kiosk. The kiosk as it stands, as you can see, is mobile. It has wheels, it has a battery system on the back, 60 ampere battery, lithium battery. We can charge up to 30 phones at one time. It has a 100 watt solar panels that really power the whole system. The key thing here is very simple. We also build a Wi-Fi and audio system that allow us not only to distribute digital content offline, but also provide internet, but also distribute audio content. How do you monitor this hardware business? Well, thank God for technology. And one of the things we looked at is sensor technology. Now with sensor, we can know exactly what's happening on the ground without having to have so many people like field operators to go and visit those kiosks on a regular basis. One of the sensors we have is GPS sensor for location. Another sensor we have is motion sensor. We can tell roughly how many people are visiting the kiosk per kiosk, whichever area there is. But also temperature sensor. How do we monitor the equipment, the electronics? You know, moisture sensor, make sure there's no water inside the kiosk during rainy season, for example. But also fingerprinting sensor. One of the things we realized is, how do we make sure the operator of that kiosk is actually the one that is operating it and not subcontracting to somebody else? Well, fingerprint is the key. Now each agent has to put a fingerprint to turn on the kiosk every hour. And if that kiosk is not active for 2-3 hours, the sensor sends us data to let us know this particular kiosk is not being operated. So all this technology allows us to bring the most efficient and smartest distribution network for low-income people. And we went a step further. How do we have a social impact, in the community we serve? So we decided to recruit and train people from those communities to operate this kiosk. So how do we extend our social impact in the community we serve? Well, very simply. We decided to develop a training program and recruitment program from the community that we serve. So we recruit mostly women and people with disability that operate those kiosks. And we developed a specific mobile application we call Mobile Shiriki. Shiriki is a Swahili name that's said to be part of. And that app allowed them to provide all kinds of different services on the one platform. Airtime, mobile money. In Rwanda, we do also government services, tax collection, education platform. For example, if someone wants to pay the school fees, they can come to our kiosk and make that payment there. So not only we provide services, but we collect also information. We also developed a monitoring app that allows us to monitor the whole ecosystem. We also developed a technician app that also allows us to monitor all of our technical calls and maintenance done on the kiosk. And all this data is collected on our back-end software system to really build this ecosystem of this distribution network that we have put in place. We have the smartest and most efficient distribution network on the continent of Africa today. So let me give you a little bit of context of what ARED does. If you look at Africa today, a lot of our services has been digitized. Money transfer has been digitized. Payment of services has been digitized. The problem is the network of distribution. If you go in rural area, semi-urban area, and low-income area, distribution network is not efficient, and in some cases, non-existent. Most companies develop their own distribution network. Unfortunately, it limits to how many services they can provide. Why? Because in rural area, there's a lack of access to energy. There's also poor connectivity. With our solar kiosks, we've been able to solve that and go ahead and build the smartest and most efficient distribution network on the continent. There's over 100 million agent type of business on the continent of Africa. And all are very fragmented, meaning they only do one or two services. We're the only platform in Africa that has been able to combine digital services, digital payment, and offline-online connectivity on the one platform.
Liebe bettervest Crowd, wir freuen uns, mit eurer Unterstützung bis zu 80 neue Shiriki-Hubs zu produzieren und in Betrieb zu nehmen. Das bedeutet nicht nur Einsparung von CO2, sondern auch mehr als 80 neue Jobs und Zugang für Tausende von Afrikanern zur digitalen Welt der wohl heute wichtigsten Infrastruktur. Wir freuen uns, diese Reise mit euch zusammen zu machen. Vielen Dank und auf Wiedersehen.
bettervest.de. Nachhaltig, effizient, rentabel.